right, good morning everybody. Just go ahead and start standing and take your feet about a little wider than hip distance apart. And just start with some nice big arm circles, just to warm up the shoulder joints. Nice and slow. Good. And then reverse your circle. Other way. Two more times. Good, and one last one. Good, just take your arms down by your sides. Drop your chin down to the chest. And just roll the head over to your right. And lower down. And roll over to the left. And lower down. So just little half circles into the right. And lower. Into the left. And lower. Into the right, and lower, into the left, and lower. We'll just do that to the right enough one more time, into the right, and lower, into the left, and lower the head down. Gently lift your head back up, take your arms out to the sides, and just take a nice side stretch over, reaching out to the fingertips. You can bring your other hand down to your waistline or maybe that upper thigh. Oh, good. And come all the way up and take a side stretch the other way. Feel the waist opening. Good. And come all the way back up. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can say exactly where you're at. So just some articulation. So drop the chin down to the chest. Allow the shoulders to roll forward, and in the middle of the back. As you get lower down, go ahead and soften your knees so you can really articulate through the spine. It's really not about doing a forward fold, just about articulating through the spine. Taking an inhale at the bottom. Exhale, pull the low belly up and in, and roll back up through your spine, stacking the vertebrae up one at a time. The head should come up last. Take a breath in at the top. Exhale, drop the chin down, shoulders round forward. Keep a line in the middle of the back to round. Feel the low back. So just about halfway down and dangle as you inhale. Exhale, pull up through the low belly, roll back up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, drop the chin down. Rolling through the top of the spine, middle of the spine, and the low back. You're not going to get a lot of movement in that low back, but just imagine it's articulating over. Inhale, exhale, pull the belly in, pull the ribs up and in, articulate back up. Deep breath in at the top. And last time, exhale, drop the chin, upper back, middle back. Low back just a little bit. Dangle here for a moment as you inhale. And exhale, rolling all the way back up, one vertebrae at a time. Coming all the way back up into standing. Good. Okay, so go ahead and take your paper plates. You only need one. And let's place it under the right foot. So if you are on your mat, you're going to want to step off of your mat more onto your carpet or onto hardwoods. You will not really use your paper plates again after this session. Take your arms out to the sides. So you're going to slide that right foot away from you and pull the right foot back underneath you. So just like we do standing work on the reformer, inhale out, exhale, pull together. Then inhale, stretching out, exhale, pulling together. Inhale, stretching out. Exhale, pull together. Inhale, stretching out. Exhale, pull those inner thighs together. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale out. Exhale in. One more. Inhale out. And exhale in. Good. So coming into more a little bit of a skater, bend your knees and take your hands down your waist. And since we're using paper plates, I want you to go ahead and have just a little bit of a tilt back in that pelvis. I know normally we try to stay up a little bit straighter, but on this one, go ahead and take a little lean forward. And press the right leg out, and bend it back underneath you. And press it out, and in, and press it out, and in, and stretch it out, and in, and stretching out, and in. 3 more, and 3, and come back in, and 2, and return, and 1, and come back in. You can go ahead, straighten the legs. Switch the paper plate under your other foot. Good. Step nice and tall. Arms out on this one. Ready, stretch to the left leg away from you as you inhale. Exhale, pull the thighs back together. Then inhale, stretching out. Exhale, pull together. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Keep sitting up nice and tall. 3 more, and then 3. And in. Pressing out 2. And in. And 1. And return in. Good. Bend your knees, take your hands down to the waist. Once again, a little bit of a lean forward. And press the left leg out. And bend it back underneath. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. 3 more. And 2. Bend back in. Stretch it out 2, and in, and stretch it out 1, and in. Go ahead, straighten your legs back up. Nice. Go ahead, put the paper plate to the side, and take your weights. Good. Nice. Once you have your weights in your hands, same thing, feet underneath you, about hip distance apart. So taking arm circles, so take your arms up in front of you as you exhale, take them out to the sides, and lower it down. Exhale, lift, open, and down. And exhale, lift, open, and down. And exhale, up, inhale, and down. And exhale, up, open, and down. And exhale, lift, open, inhale, lower. Exhale, nice smooth circle. Just get that shoulder joint nice and lubricated. Open and down. And lifting up, open and down. 2 more times. And lifting up, open and down. And 1 more, lifting up, open and down. Good, just take a couple of breaths before we reverse our circle. Good, ready? This time exhale, lift the arms up to the sides, bring them forward, inhale, lower. And exhale, lift, inhale, and lower down. And exhale, lift, inhale, and down. And exhale, up, inhale, and down. And exhale, up, inhale, and down. 5 more. Up 5, forward and lower. And 4, lower, down. And 3, lift, forward and down. Last 2, exhale, inhale, and down. And exhale, inhale, and down. Good. Take a breath for a moment. Good. So doing triceps just a little bit different day. You can stay where you're at. I'm going to turn to the side. So you're going to bend the elbows in. Take a moment, pull those elbows back as far as you can. Feel a nice openness in the chest. And then extend the arms back and bending in. If you want to add a squat to give yourself a little bit more of a workout, you can do that and stretching it back. And in. But keep those elbows pulling back. So as you bend the elbows in, try not to move them forward. Keep them exactly where they're at. And stretching back. And in. And stretching back. And in. And pressing back and in. Stay nice and tall if your knees aren't bent. And stretching back and bend. Nice. Good. I'm going to turn back to face you. Just going into our nice simple bicep curls. Take the arms out in front of you and lift the hands up and lower down. So nice and controlled. And exhale. Inhale, open with control. And exhale. And inhale. Shoulders down the back. And open. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. 2 more. And exhale. And inhale. 1 more. Exhale. And inhale. Lower your arms down for a moment. Give your muscles a rest. Take a couple breaths. Good. Nice. So we're going to make big X's. So take the arms out in front of you. Take the right arm high, left arm low. So reach up and stretch. And bring them back to center. And other side. And reach up, stretch. And center. And reach it up. And center. And stretch it up. And center. Exhale, reach. And center. And exhale up. And center. 4 more. And 4. Reach it forward. And 3. And forward. 2 more. And 2. Reach. Nice big diagonal. Forward. 1 more. And reach up. Stretch. Forward. Lower the arms down. Take a breath. Just as we've done before, we're going to do that whole set again. So we'll start with the arm circles here in a moment. Just give those muscles a rest for a moment. They should be feeling nice and warm now. Okay, so starting back with the arm circles. Exhale, take the arms up. Inhale, open and down. And exhale, inhale and lower. And exhale, inhale and down. And exhale, inhale and lower. And exhale, inhale and lower. And exhale, inhale and down. And exhale, inhale and lower. 3 more. And 3. Open and down. 2. Open and down. 1 more. 1. Open and down. Good. Take a couple breaths for recovery. And now reversing that. Exhale, take the arms up, forward, inhale, lower. And exhale, inhale, down. And exhale, inhale, lower. Exhale, check your core muscles out. Once again, just a nice light engagement in them. Just making sure that you have some nice support for the back. And inhale, exhale, and down. And inhale, exhale, and lower. 3 more. And inhale, exhale, and down. 2, forward, and down. 1 more. And exhale, inhale, and lower. Good. Take a couple breaths once again for recovery. So our next one is triceps. So bend the elbows. Once again, pull those elbows back behind you. Once again, if you want to come into a squat, feel free to do that if you want a little bit of extra workout in the quadricep muscles. And ready, and exhale, pressing back and bending in. And exhale, back. Inhale, return. And exhale. And inhale. 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 3 more. And 3. And return. Keep those elbows pushing back. 2 and 1. And return. Good. Relax those arms down before we come into our biceps. Okay. Take the arms out in front of you. Keep those arms lifted in front of you. Exhale, bend in. And return out. And exhale. And exhale, and inhale, and exhale. Inhale, open, and exhale, bend. Inhale, open, exhale, bend. Inhale, open, exhale, bend. Inhale, open, exhale, bend. Inhale, open, 2 more, and bending in. And open, 1 more, and bending in. And open, lower those arms down for a moment. So our next one, our nice big exercise, take the arms out in front of you. Ready, lift the right arm up to a diagonal, left arm down diagonal, stretch up, and come back forward. And other side, and stretch up, and forward. And exhale, stretch, inhale, reach, exhale, up, inhale, reach, and exhale, stretch, and forward, and exhale, up, and forward, and exhale, up, and forward, 3 more, and 3, and forward, and 2, and forward, 1 more, and 1, and forward. Nice, guys. Go ahead, put your weights down. We're going to go ahead and we're going to come back to our little paper plates, and you need both of them this time. So, for those of you who have any type of knee issues, you might put a blanket underneath your knees, or actually put the blanket underneath your shins so your kneecap is actually hanging out into space. So before you come down, maybe just take a moment. So you're going to come onto all fours. So you're going to do basically kind of a cat stretch. You're going to inhale, stretch the arms forward, exhale, pull and round up through the back. So almost kind of like neonatal. Inhale, stretching forward, exhale, round up to the back. Okay, so take a moment to come onto all fours. Put something underneath your shins if you need to. Good. Ready? Inhale, extend the arms forward, come into a nice flat back. Exhale, round through the spine. Then inhale, stretch it forward. Exhale, rounding up. Then inhale, stretching forward. Exhale, rounding up. Inhale, stretching forward. Exhale, rounding up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. 3 more. And inhale, reach. Exhale, round. 2 more. And inhale. And exhale up. And inhale. And exhale up. Good. Take a moment to sit off those wrists for a moment. Good. So our next version will be with obliques. So you'll just put both hands, just like we do on the side of a reformer, onto one paper plate. So start to your right or to your left, your preference this morning. I have my own cat stretch here helping me out. So inhale, take a diagonal to the side. Exhale, round up through the spine. Then inhale, continue out. Then exhale, rounding up. Then inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, and round. Then inhale, reach it out. Exhale, and round. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, round. Inhale. And exhale, 2 more. Inhale. And exhale, last one. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Come back up. Take a moment. Sit back for a moment before we do the other side. Good. All right. Ready for the other side. So take your hands to one paper plate. You're going to take it out diagonally from you. So diagonal out. Pull up and round your back. Then inhale, reach. Exhale and round. Inhale, reach. Exhale and round. Inhale, stretch. Exhale and round. Inhale, stretch. Exhale and round. Inhale, reach. Exhale, rounding out Inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull the ribs up and in. Stretch them out. Exhale, round. One more. Inhale, reach. And exhale, round. Nice. Good. All right. We're going to come into a seated position. I'm going to have to kind of go back and forth on my mat here so I can get onto sliding parts. So once again, one paper plate, hand on it. So feet should be opposite of the paper plate and hand. So side stretch, just like we do on the reformer. Take a deep breath in, slide out, and stretch it over, and pull it back in. It's up to you how far you go. And if this feels like it's too much, you can take the paper plate out of it and just put your hand onto the floor. And reaching over, stretch, and up. And reaching over, stretch, and up. And one more, and stretch it over, and lift it back up. All right, going to the other side. I'm just gonna take a little scooch forward on my mat here. Go to the other side. So once again, feet opposite of your hand in paper plates. Take your arm out to the side. Ready? And stretch it out. And pull it back underneath. And stretch it over. And lift it up. So in this position seated, if you need to take your legs a little more apart from one another, that's better for your hips and knees. Feel free to do that. And stretch it over. And lift. We have 4 more. And stretch it over. 4. And stretch it up. And stretch it over. 3. And lift. And stretch over. 2. And lift. And 1 more. And stretch over. And lift. Nice. Good. Alright, I'm going to take a moment once again. You may be fine sitting where you're at. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me a little better. So stomach massage. Both paper plates in front of you. Put your heels on the paper plates. Okay. Nice. So take your arms out in front of you. So sit up nice and tall. So some of you will not be able to straighten your legs all the way on this exercise, which is fine. Once again, I want you to maintain a nice flat back. So you're going to send the legs out and pull the knees back in. Maintain your nice neutral spine. So as you're coming back in, don't allow yourself to slouch down and stretch it out and bending in. So a little bit of turnout in your legs and a little Pilates first. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, push the legs out. Exhale, pull the legs in. Inhale, maintain that strong low back. It's natural curve. Don't over-exaggerate it, but also don't let it collapse. And inhale, and exhale. 1 more. Inhale, and exhale. Good. Take a moment, you can relax your legs down. So a little bit of a hip flexor workout too. So our next version, instead of coming in with a flat back, as you come in, you're going to round it over, just like we do in side-by-side on your form, and then I'll reach it back out, okay? So let's go ahead and start with the legs extended out a little bit on this one. Take a moment, get tall on the sit bones. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, pull these in, round it over. Inhale, stretch the legs out and sit up tall. And exhale, round over. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, round over legs. Inhale, lift up tall. And exhale, round. Inhale, up tall. And exhale, round over. Inhale, stretch. And exhale, round. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, round. Don't worry if your legs don't straighten all the way out in front of you. Concentrate on the shape of your spine, C curve, and lengthen out. and seeker, and lengthen out 2 more, and seeker, and lift up tall, and seeker, and stretch it back nice and tall. Good. All right, guys, go ahead and release that. We're going to come into spinal extension. So we've done this, for those of you who take mat class, we've done this with the roller before. So paper plates under hands again. Arms are going to be out in front of you. As you look up in your spine extension, you're going to move the hands closer into you. So as you inhale, pull the arms in, sitting up, and exhale, stretch back out. The legs can stay down on this version. And inhale, lifting up, exhale, lower down. Inhale, coming up into your extension. Exhale, stretch it back out. Nice and smooth movement in. Smooth movement back out as you lower. And inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 4 more. Inhale, pull everything up and in as you're pulling those arms in. Stretch it back out. Engage your dumbbells in. And lower. 2 more. And inhale. And exhale. 1 more. And inhale. And exhale. Good. Just take a moment, bend your knees behind you, and just let the legs move so they go back and forth. Okay, so coming into plank pose. So kind of a modified control front on the reformer, which maybe some of you have done, maybe some of you have not done. We're going to do a modified version though. So hands on paper plates, coming into plank pose. Slide your right arm forward and pull it back underneath you. And then left arm and in. And right and in. Left. If you need to come down to your knees, that's fine. You can always take this into a modified plank. And in. Stretch it out. And in. And stretch it forward. And in. 3 more. 3. And return. 2. And return. 1. And return. Gently bring those knees down. Sit back for a moment. So, hope everybody's doing okay? So you kind of know what's next, what might be coming next, maybe, if you know me well. So now, feet on the paper plates, okay? So, I'm going to come off my mat so my plates are on my hardwoods. We're going to pull the knee into our chest this time, so feet underneath you, ready, pull the right knee in, slide it in, and slide it back. So this is a very version of mountain climbers. I'm pulling it in, and back, and pull it in, and back, and 6, and back, 5, slide it back, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently bring those knees down. Good. All right. So the next version is going to be bridge pose. So you're going to want, if you want to be on your mat for your back for bridge, that's fine. But once again, you're going to want plates off of your mat. Okay. So I'm going to place my plates at the end of my mat. Feet go onto them. Roll yourself down for bridge pose. Once you're down, you may need to adjust yourself in so you don't feel like your feet are going to slide out underneath you when you come up into bridge pose. Okay, so take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, roll up into your bridge pose. Good. Stay in bridge. Slide your right foot away from you. And bring the right knee, your heel back underneath you. And do that again. Right leg over. Inhale and exhale. So absolutely working those hamstrings. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, engage your back muscles. Exhale in 3 more. 3. Slide it in. 2. Slide it in. 1 more. 1. Slide it in. Roll all the way back down and in between sides. Okay, take a breath. Embrace the fact that your hamstring may be talking to you a little bit right now. Okay, ready for the other side. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Roll up into your bridge pose. Weight down to the right foot as you inhale, left leg slides out. Exhale in. And inhale and exhale. Inhale, keep that left hip lifted and return. Inhale and exhale. 4 more, you got it. 4 and return. 3 and return. 2 more. 2. Last one. Come all the way down. Take a moment, bring your knees into your chest. We will squeeze in. We will rock side to side. Okay, I'm going to scoot myself back on my mat a little bit more. This ends the portion of the paper plate torture. Go ahead, roll yourself back down onto your mat. Let's do just a little bit of ab work. So just some nice, easy mat exercises. Hands behind the base of your skull. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Nod the head and shoulders up and lower down. Bringing some awareness into the pelvis. Trying to keep that pelvis in a nice neutral position. And lower down. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. 10 more. And 10. Lower down. Exhale. Scoop up and in. 9. 8. 7. Exhale out 6. Exhale out 5. Exhale out 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Good. Lower all the way back down. Take a breath. And take your arms down by your sides. Coming into 100, so feet can be on your mat. Tabletop, if you want to take a really nice challenging version, the legs can go away from you. Once again, the point in here is always quality over quantity, so make sure whatever position you're in, you can maintain a pretty neutral spine, maybe a slight imprint. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, head and shoulders up. Ready, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze those legs together. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Halfway there. Inhale. And exhale. Keep pulling those abdominals in. Inhale. Breathe into the back of your lungs. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Good. Lower all the way back down. Bring your knees into your chest. Take a deep breath in. Go ahead and come up into a seated position. So two different options here, either reverse tabletop or reverse plank. So reverse tabletop, feet are underneath you. You do need to use the back of your hamstrings and glutes regardless of which version you're doing, so you can either lift up into tabletop or extend the legs out in front of you, maybe with a slight bend in your knees if you need it, and or come up into reverse plank. So stop 1 second before I get you into that position. I will say for me, I get way more of a stretch in tabletop than I do in plank pose. I would say plank pose is more challenging for me physically, so it's kind of what you're looking for today. I think it's really important that we stretch out, especially in those delts, because we tend to be rounded forward, so those delts really kind of need to be stretched out. So once again, you choose for what's best for you today. I'm going into tabletop to give myself a little bit more of a stretch. So take a deep breath in. Exhale, engage your glutes and your hamstrings, so lift those hips up. Head can either be forward towards the angle up to the ceiling at the corner there. If you want to take the head back, you can. Just please be very careful with the back of your neck, that you're not crimping it up too much. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale out. Another deep breath in and exhale out. Slowly lower your hips back down. Release those arms for a moment. We're going to do that one more time. So if you did one version, maybe on the second one you want to do a different version, that's fine. Go ahead, bring the hands back behind you. If you can, keep the fingertips facing forward, but if you need to turn those hands out a little bit, that's okay. Take a deep breath in. Ready, exhale, engage the glutes and hamstrings. Lift those hips up. Make sure you're still breathing. Lift up and out of your shoulder joint. And then very slowly lower all the way back down. If you need to, take a moment, do a little counter stretch, pull your palm of your hand in towards the inner forearm, do a little counter stretch there. And then switch sides. Good, and then go ahead, bring the soles of your feet together, start cooling down a little bit. Once again, just that reminder, if you don't have a lot of turn out, move your feet out in front of you a little bit more to allow those knees to open up a little bit. And just exhale, stretch over the legs. Once again, think about taking your hip bones towards the heels, so you're not slumped over this way. Extend the spine. It's okay to allow that upper spine to relax over a little bit, but we're just trying to avoid this right now. Go ahead and come back up all the way. Extend your legs out in front of you. Once again, if you need to have a little bit of a slight bend knee, to allow yourself to be a little bit higher with sit bones, allow yourself to bend those knees a little bit. And then stretch over the leg. Once again, thinking about those hip bones trying to come down to your thigh, not pulling away from them. Definitely work those hamstrings today. And slowly come back up. So to open the hips, two different options here. You can either do the figure 4 up this way, or if you want to lay down on your back and take it, either one is fine with me. If you're going to lay down on your back, once again, just a nice way to do it on your back is to put your foot up on a wall or maybe rested on a chair. If you have your foot against a wall, just put a little bit of pressure against the wall, and it's kind of a nice little traction actually when you're doing pigeon on your back. Once again, up to you how close this foot comes into the back of your leg. Also, you can do this seated at home too by just crossing the knee over in a chair. It does the exact same thing. Good. And then switch sides. Oh. And then lean back, go ahead and release that. And you guys are all done for today. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.